Shakti Shiva Tarot for another read. Wish I would have been recording today. He entered the lap all on his own. He didn't do a whole lot of circling, maybe 1 or 2 rounds. He meowed at me. I gave him a little pat on the head and he came right into the lap. So I feel like the divine masculines, because my swaggy is a boy, doesn't matter what, whatever. I'm talking about energy. Divine masculines are softening up. They are softening up. They are making their way back slowly, potentially for some slowly, for some it might be fast and quick, as we saw in the last read. But I see movement. I see there is movement in the right direction. Let me go close the door. All right, Shakti Shiva Tarot. Of course, because I had to get up and close the door, Swag has left the lap and is now debating whether he wants to come back or not. So I will keep the space open for him, but if he takes too long, I'm gonna go into my lotus posture because that for me is comfy, more comfortable than this. Anyways, how y'all doing? I hope y'all are doing good. Yeah, let's see what's going on with the energies. It says masculine twin 5-5 releasing lower self. I love this, because didn't I start off the reading talking about the masculine twin, the divine masculine? Did I not? I was like, the divine masculine Swag. Sorry, my lips are dry. I put on some chapstick. The divine masculine is releasing the lower self. That means the lower chakras. You know, those chakras of like that lower energy, very sexual, power oriented, sexually oriented. And okay, Shakti Shiva Tarot for the 3rd time. Lots of interruptions today. Maybe there is a synchronicity there. Anyways, all right. We've got the divine masculine twin releasing lower self. And what is the lower self? The lower self is, like I said, those energies. Wow. We got a lot of 5s on the table. A lot of change. 5 is all about change. 5-5-5-5. Reprogram your soul, release, raise, and reclaim. They're reclaiming their power, their sacral energy, their root chakra energy. So in yoga, and I'm just gonna say in spirituality and Taoism, it's in a lot of things. It's not just yoga, but anyways, when I took my yoga training, I learned about this. So my yoga teacher taught me about the chakras and what happens when we don't what happens when we only work from the lower chakras, when we don't utilize our higher chakras, like our higher knowledge, our third eye, our voice, our heart. When we're not using these chakras and we're only vibrating in our lower chakras, what tends to happen to the chakras is, because it wants to go somewhere, right? It wants to go up, it wants to go down, it wants to go up. But if we are only focusing on the lower chakras, we create a tail and we become very animalistic in nature. What does that mean? Very carnal, very sexual, expressing everything through physical actions, right? Like an animal. We begin to act like animals because our chakras are coming out like a tail. And so that energy is only focused in the lower chakras and we're acting very animalistic, right? So the point, and now I'm going to go into it. This is so funny. This is how creator works. This is how the divine works. At least through me. So we have our upper chakras, right? And so we utilize the lotus in order to block those lower chakra energies, in order to contain those lower chakra energies. And it's just temporarily, right? To bring that energy up into the higher chakras. So it starts to subtly release the lower energy frequencies, and we come into more of our heart center. We come more into our higher knowledge, right? Into that higher self, and less in our animalistic. So we become more balanced. We become more aligned with our higher calling, okay? And so I feel like this is what is happening with your divine masculines right now. They are releasing these lower frequencies, these more carnal energies, right? And reclaiming their power, raising their vibration, reprogramming their soul. I love to see that. All right, let's get into some cosmic energies here. Funny because actually both of these, oh no, never mind, just kidding. One's slate, one's olive. They look, so whatever. Anyways, divine masculine, opening their heart, opening their higher chakra, releasing their lower self. This is amazing. So coming out of the matrix energies of codependencies, addictions, temptations, being controlled by your lower desires, by your sexual desires, by your carnal desires, by your animalistic desires. That's what these lower centers are all about. So connecting more with the divine, connecting more with the heart center, connecting more with our higher knowledge, right? That higher purpose we all came in here to do. Tell me more. All right, thank you. Jeez. We've got grand trine blessings. Blessings are raining down upon you from the divine creator. This is interesting. So we have the triangle here at the center of their heart center, right? And it's pointing upward. I believe that is the air symbol when it points upward. And then here we have the triangle, but it's pointing downward. And I believe that's earth when it's pointing downward. Don't quote me, but I will put a little note on there for confirmation. Anyways, all right. So grand trine blessings. Blessings are trying to come in, but we've got to raise our frequency, reclaim our power, and release this lower self in order to invite these blessings in. Fifth house, creativity, Leo. So Jupiter is the planet in the sky that represents the masculine energy. Jupiter is in Leo right now. Jupiter is the planet of luck. It is the planet of abundance, amplifying everything in your life. So Jupiter being in Leo is amplifying this creative energy, right? Amplifying this need to open your heart and raise your frequency and your vibration. Why? Like I said, in order to allow these blessings to come in. Because if our energy is shooting out and we've got a tail and our energy is not even grounded, it's not even grounded, it is a tail, right? We need to take that energy, pull it back in, ground it and root it into Mother Earth, and then bring it back up so that it's coming out like a fountain and pouring into the heavens, but then also pouring back into the earth. So we become this conduit of the energy that is trying to express from the heavens and anchor here on the earth. It's one thing to be in your spirituality. And I know that spirituality has become this really big, huge fad right now where everybody wants to go and experience their, the highs, right? So now it's like everybody wants to come into these highs, but no one's grounded, right? Their tails are out. You're still not going to have the full experience. We need, in order to be full, we are here as spiritual beings to anchor that spirituality into Mother Earth. If we are out there just lost in the sauce, going from ceremony to ceremony and retreat to retreat and event to event and experience to experience, and just having these highs, these festivals, having these highs coming down, having these highs coming down, what are we doing? right? And no judgment to anybody who is out there doing those things, but at some point, there's, you know, there's a place and a time and a place to be lost. There's nothing wrong with losing yourself as long as the intention is to find yourself, right? When you're just lost in the sauce and you're just floating in the wind and you're not grounding that energy, what are we doing? Yeah. Communication, third house, dignified strength. So I feel like Leo is heavy here. Third house, Virgo and Gemini. Communication is coming in. All right, tell me more about this communication and who is it coming from? Obviously, it's coming from your divine masculine. This is a blessing in disguise. It's going to be related to creative projects, maybe creating a life together, maybe creating a family, a home, a legacy. I still feel connected to you, but I've waited too long to reach out. Is it too late for us? Anyways, interesting. Wow. Okay. I miss your beautiful smile and joyous laugh. They used to light up my world. This person's thinking about you. Fresh start. They want a fresh start. Fresh start, free will. New opportunity, release the past. This is your second chance. Choices, decisions, contact, inaction. Action cannot be forced. Action cannot be forced. Your person, your divine masculine, is thinking about you. They are thinking whether if they reach out, you're going to respond. Because they still feel connected. But maybe you've pushed them away and they're feeling like it's been too long for them to reach out. But they want to start fresh. They want a new opportunity. So if you've been in no contact, expect contact. If there's been no action, expect action. Communication is coming, but you can't force the communication. So if you've been expecting or waiting, let it go, because it's not going to come if you stay in that energy. You were my sanctuary. You were the only person I could confide in, and I betrayed your trust. So someone here obviously betrayed your trust. And it's because why? They were in those lower frequencies. I still have dreams about you and our happy times together. They can't get you, bro. Day or night, sleeping or awake, you are on this person's mind. You better believe that. I'm going to get into tarot in a second here. Wow. Day or night. Hey, balance. I've got my yin yang. My yin yang. Balance is being restored. And this is the two koi fish. It's like the Pisces swimming together, but it's, the yin yang. Darkness and light. Stay centered in your higher self. So it's interesting. Why do I feel like one of you is the sunshine, one of you is the storm? Together, both are needed, right? Interesting. Our love was too intense for me to handle. I needed to break away. So this is probably what happened, right? They broke away because the love and the emotions that they were feeling were too intense. And so this could have been the betrayal in itself. Doesn't mean that they cheated. Doesn't mean that they were with anybody else. Just them leaving, they felt like they betrayed you. You probably felt betrayed just by them leaving. Changes in the air, your answers arrive in autumn. Haven't I said that? Haven't I been saying that? Something I'm telling you about autumn, the fall. As August 12th is coming up soon here. And look at that, that's funny. Communication. I know it was in the last read, but I tucked it away and and there it was. Communication. You're about to receive communication, especially for those who want it and who have been on the no contact list for quite some time. Yeah, look at that. Communication has been blocked. This proposal has been blocked. This foundation has been blocked, but there's about to be a conversation. What's the conversation about? About starting anew. Wow. Why? Because this person is ready to finally offer their cup of love. This is somebody who has hid their feelings. They did not share their cup with you before. They were holding on to this truth. They were keeping it close to their chest because they were in lower frequencies. I feel like this is somebody who was stuck in ego. But there has been a shift in perspective. The perspective has been shifted because the divine has held and suspended this connection long enough for them to understand that it is their free will to choose. Just because the divine brings you your twin flame doesn't mean that, like, you and your person both have to choose the connection. Just because you guys met doesn't mean it's like, oh, poof, perfection, we're gonna just, do everything's just gonna fall into place. No, you have to choose. That's why I don't, anyways, a lot of heartache has been experienced here. Someone is heartbroken over this. Someone has been crying over you. Someone has been crying over you. Why? Because this is somebody who is afraid that you have chosen to just remain single. This person thinks that you are good on your own. You're living your life. You're looking good. It's like you don't need them. And for those of you who this person betrayed you, y'all are thinking, well, you left. You betrayed the connection. Right? Well, I feel like this is part of the lesson here. Your empathy, your kindness, your compassion, I feel like your sensitivities were taken advantage of in a way. Taken for granted, taken advantage of. Your sensitivities, your kindness, this empathy, right? Someone is feeling remorse for having been careless with your heart. They are wishing and praying that you will give them a second chance. They are wishing and praying that you will just even answer your phone. Have a conversation. They're worried that you won't even answer the phone. They're worried that you won't want to talk, that you won't want to hear them out. But this person is like saying, I'm ready. I don't know if you care or not. We'll find out. But this person is finally ready to put effort into connection because they know that you are wish fulfillment. You're the soulmate. You're the dream come true. You're the happily ever after, the 1111 twin flame, and they want a fresh start with you. Let's see about you. Do you want this fresh start with them? I feel like you're going to be very logical about this. I'm not sure if your emotions are going to be on the table. I feel like you'll be very emotionally detached. You're going to see. You're strategic. I feel like you're going to see. You're like, let's see the action. Are you going to come in with red flags? Because if you're coming in with the red flags, then I'm here to cut those red flags out. Air signs, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra heavy, but also fire signs, Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. Pay attention to the red flags. Any red flags, you are going to slice and dice out. It's like, I'll hear you out. I feel like you will hear this person out. I don't know. Some of you might not be even willing to talk, but for those of you that are willing to talk, you're going to hear this person out and pay attention to the red flags. All right. You can start thinking about your yes or no question. We've got the threshold, the kiss, the siren, the destroyer, and apocalypses. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. You are in the threshold right now. There is going to be a future kiss that is going to change everything. I feel like you are the siren in this person's life. Ooh, the mother at the bottom here was just kind of sitting there. All right. Ask your yes or no question. Here we go. The kiss. Who are you going to be kissing? Woo! That's a no for now. A no for now.